Well, welcome, Tufts alums, parents, and friends. Thank you for joining us for what I think will be a terrific evening. I'm Peter Dolan. I'm the chairman of the board of Tufts trustees. Tufts Talks, formerly known as Back to the Future, is celebrating its 5th anniversary in New York City. So New York friends, you'd be pleased to know you've been fortunate to be with us from the beginning of this terrific new Tufts tradition. And we have your intellectual curiosity and expanding numbers every year to thank for the event's resounding success. Tufts Talks has now expanded from New York City to Boston to Washington, D.C. Tonight's event will not disappoint. Our faculty, Bhaskar Chakravorty, Susan Roberts, and Ben Wolf, will inspire and amaze you with the work they're doing across a number of different fields, work that has true impact on our world. For those of you who have been to Tufts Talks before, you know that Bhaskar, Susan, and Ben are just a few of the amazingly talented people who make their home at Tufts. Tufts has a deep and impressive bench of faculty who make a difference to our students and to our global community by exploring exciting research paths, illuminating possibility, and creating new knowledge. It's exciting to look out at this audience and see so many people wearing an I Give to Tufts sticker. As an alumnus, I'm proud to give to Tufts, and I encourage all of you to do the same. Your contributions help us attract and retain such incredible faculty as Bhaskar, Susan, and Ben. You're a significant reason we can commit to meeting 100% of the financial need of every undergraduate student we admit, and you help us to provide graduate fellowships. You're a big part of what enables Tufts to continue to reach new heights as a student-centered research university. We're very lucky tonight to have with us a number of Tufts leaders. I'll ask them to stand and acknowledge the crowd in the event that you want to meet up with them later. First, they're interested in connecting with you, so I encourage you to do that. Harris Berman, Dean of the School of Medicine. Gancher University Professor Saul and Robin Gittleman, former Director of Experimental College. Please hold your applause to the end. Jim Glazer, Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences. Jim here? Where's Jim? Dari Mosafarian, Dean of the Friedman School of Nutrition, Science, and Policy. I saw Dari earlier. Jinmin Kyu, Dean of the School of Engineering, in the back, waving in the back. Alan Solomont, Omidyar, Dean of the Jonathan M. Tisch College of Civic Life, over here to the left. Hugh Thomas, Dean of the School of Dental Medicine, over here to the left. And last but not least, my predecessor, the former chairman of the Board of Trustees, Jim Stern. Jim and Jane Stern's generosity to Tufts continues to be extraordinary. When you have the opportunity tonight, thank Jim for all he has done for our great university. If you would, I'd like everyone to join me in thanking this esteemed group for joining us here in New York City today. And now I have the pleasure to introduce Tony Monaco, Tufts' 13th president. Tony came to Tufts 5 years ago after 2 decades as a faculty member and senior administrative leader at the University of Oxford. Dr. Monaco, who holds an MD and PhD, is a distinguished scientist in the area of genetics and neurodevelopmental disorders. A landmark discovery that he made as a doctoral student has had life-altering implications for the many people affected by Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a severe type of muscular dystrophy, and also its most common form. This past September, the FDA approved Sarepta, a drug that represents the first ever treatment for patients with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a drug based directly on Tony Monaco's pioneering work from 30 years ago. As our Tufts president, he's shown his commitment to excellence in both teaching and research, and to furthering the university's tradition of inspiring its students to become civically engaged. He is deeply dedicated to Tufts students and to ensuring that those who lack the financial resources, but who are more than capable and ready to excel, are provided with the opportunity to pursue their study at Tufts. As one of his earliest priorities, Tony launched an initiative university-wide, a financial aid initiative, a matching program in which the university doubled the impact of donations that established scholarships or increased existing ones. This initiative, which ended in June, was a huge hit. Hundreds of alumni, parents, and friends participated, surpassing the $90 million goal by $5 million, adding to 277 existing scholarships and fellowships, while also creating nearly 200 new ones. Thanks to the generosity of our Tufts community, the Financial Aid Initiative made great strides in addressing an ever-present need. But that need does remain exactly that, ever-present, and support for students will continue to be a critical priority for the university. Tony is also committed to providing faculty and students with world-class facilities in which to teach and learn. One such space is the new Collaborative Learning and Innovation Complex, which is providing a springboard for students and faculty partnering in research and discovery efforts. This fall, Tufts announced that a gift from the Jaharis Family Foundation will reimagine the anatomy lab at the School of Medicine, including integrating state-of-the-art medical imaging technology into the educational experience. And in 2017, the brand new Science and Engineering Complex will be the first Tufts-owned building in which students and faculty from different disciplines will share laboratory space, collaborating on selected research themes in space designed to accommodate new themes and opportunities as they emerge. Under President Monaco's leadership, Tufts gets better every year. Let me share just a few metrics with you. Our undergraduate acceptance rate of 14% is less than half of what it was just in the year 2000, making the class of 2020, if that doesn't make you feel old, I don't know what does, the most selective class in our university's history. In our yield, those students who accept our admissions offer has never been higher, with almost a 50% as more and more applicants identify Tufts as their first choice. Our student athletes are experiencing success as never before. After a great year last year, including 2 NCAA national championship finals, just this fall, Tufts football went 7-1. Men's soccer has made the Final Four nationally for the second time in 3 seasons and are playing this weekend in Virginia. Volleyball made the quarterfinals, and the Tufts field hockey team reached... Why aren't you in school? And the Tufts field hockey team reached for the national championship finals. All of that has resulted in Tufts Athletic achieving the #1 ranking among all Division III colleges across the country in the standings for the Learfield Cup, an award given annually by college athletic directors. We're proud of our undergraduate students, our student athletes, and our extraordinary graduate students and schools. And as for our alumni, just yesterday on Giving Tuesday, against a matching gift objective of getting 2,000 people to contribute to Tufts, over 4,100 alumni, students, and parents responded to create the single biggest day in our giving history. With participation up 133% from the prior year, yesterday's thundering herd of jumbos stepped up to address one of our biggest areas of opportunity, alumni engagement. Trust me, it's a great time to be at Tufts. And now, please join me in welcoming the 13th president of Tufts University, Tony Monaco.
Thank you, Peter. It's great to wonderful to welcome such a terrific crowd of jumbos and into this spectacular space. Speaking of jumbos, when Zoya and I arrived at Logan Airport earlier this morning, we were surprised to find in the lobby waiting for the same flight as ours the whole men's soccer team who were off to the NCAA double Final Four. They were surprised to see me and I was surprised to see them. But I was not going to miss the chance to say that I thought it was important as president to come down and send them off properly. But between them and their coaches and other staff from the advancement office, Dean Jin-Min Kyu and myself and Zoya, all on the same flight to LaGuardia, it really did take on a new meaning to the word jumbo jet. So Tufts is really abuzz with activity this fall. Many of our students are engaged in active learning around their independent research or in the creation of new knowledge. It's something I think that really makes Tufts truly distinctive, whether they're doing research, involved in civic engagement, or any of their co-curricular activities. They're taking their learning into their own hands. And I think this is what really drives that transformational experience. Another example for our graduate students is the School of Engineering received a $1 million grant from the National Science Foundation to encourage talented students from disadvantaged backgrounds to pursue graduate study at Tufts with scholarship, research mentors, and other support. It was really a new era for those students at Tufts. The election earlier this month also dominated a lot of the activity and interest on campus. Supported by Tisch College and the Provost's office and some students, they did a remarkable job to encourage students to register and vote. They did a lot of work to organize pre- and post-election panels and debates on important issues. And Circle, the Center for Information and Research on Civic Learning and Engagement at Tisch College, continues to produce the nation's leading research on young people's political participation. Looking ahead to the new administration, and all the uncertainty ahead, we anticipate there are going to be policy shifts in such areas as research funding, international students, immigration, and student finance. Our goal will be to ensure that Tufts stays strong through this change and true to our mission and values. As you heard Peter say, we also have a number of new buildings which are going up on our campuses, including the new Science and Engineering Complex. We also have renovations of classrooms and residence halls underway. And we were very pleased to dedicate one of those residence halls, which you would have known as South Hall, in honor of Bernie Harleston. Bernie was one of the first African-American tenure-track faculty members at Tufts in the Department of Psychology in 1956. He went on to be the Dean of Arts and Sciences and a distinguished career here in New York as the president of City College. He came back as the trustee and now trustee emeritus, and he was a champion for inclusion, diversity, and access throughout his accomplished career in higher education. It was a wonderful event to have him and his family there for the dedication of Harleston Hall. His grandson, Miles, is also at Tufts. He's a sophomore, and just by coincidence, he's staying in Harleston Hall this year. In July, many of you heard about a merger of the School of the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. It officially became part of the Tufts School of Arts and Sciences. I think this is noteworthy because it gives students and faculty the benefits of one, being part of a great liberal arts college and a research university, but also being affiliated with a world-class museum. So to stay abreast of these and other developments at Tufts, I hope you will take some time to reconnect with us, attend some events on campus, participate in alumni chapter activities, and volunteer your time. For tonight's event, I want to offer warm thanks to our host committee co-chairs, Chloe and Jason Epstein and Janice Savin-Williams, who's also a trustee, and to the entire host committee for all the hard work they did to put this event together. Tonight we will have 3 short talks on the digital planet, crises across the nutrition spectrum, and the microbiome. I hope that these talks remind you of what a phenomenally talented and accessible faculty we have at Tufts, and I encourage you to reach out to them or to your own former professors by email or through social media. The faculty you'll hear from tonight exemplify Tufts at its best. They are leaders in their fields and teachers of both undergraduates and graduate students. Please ask questions and take advantage of this opportunity. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, David Harris. David Harris is the Provost and Senior Vice President. He's a distinguished sociologist whose work focuses on social stratification, race and ethnicity, social identity, and other areas of public policy. He has brought superb academic leadership to the university and is my valued partner. So please welcome David Harris.
Good evening, everybody. All right, so let me start off by asking a fun question. How many of you have been to Tufts Talks in the past? Show of hands. It's amazing. It's fantastic. I think that's a great testament to how wonderful this event is, as I've been telling our speakers. It's an audience that's very excited about this event and excited to learn more from the speakers we have here tonight. Before I get on with introducing our speakers, I have to do a little housekeeping first. Not that kind of housekeeping, the easier part. Let me just make sure that we fill in the seats. If you have some seats, if you're on an end and there's some seats, if you scoot in, and make sure you turn your phone off if it's not already off or silenced at least. So one of the great pleasures of being a provost is that, it's good being a dean. I'm sure Harris and Hugh and Alan and others can tell you it's great being a dean, but it's really great being a provost. Because when you're a provost, you don't just have the amazing faculty in a department or a school, you got the amazing faculty across the whole university. And part of what I love about Tufts Talks, it's a great opportunity to share just a little bit of that with you. There's so many amazing faculty at Tufts doing so many wonderful things. And tonight we have a former student as well here to share with you that link between faculty and students. So the way it's going to work, they've got about 10 minutes. They've been told they've got about 10 minutes, as well as time for Q&A. And we'll make sure we keep the introductions brief to keep us moving and keep us on schedule.